Adam Pearce is in the ring with Paul Heyman for the contract signing. They bring out Oba Femi, and then Heyman introduces Bron Breakker. And Breakker asks Oba, what have you done to earn the title of the future? You beat Brock, big deal. You won the King of the Ring. You didn't even cash it in for a title shot. What an idiot. He says, all your accomplishments, no championships. He says, I had WWE in the palm of my hand before you showed up. And then I got hurt. I took myself out because no one was man enough in the locker room to do it. And Oba...
He took himself out with a promo that he
screamed.
Out. Yeah, he screamed too loud. And
I raised my voice.
Got a hernia.
The world wasn't ready, and my body wasn't ready for my roar. He says, Oba, then you weaseled your way into my spot and were handed everything. Oba, you're only in my spot because I got hurt. And Oba takes all of this in, and he says, Bron, you're an angry orange man.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a term that gets used quite a lot. I don't know if in this locker room, but I'm sure it is used from time to time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He says Oba does not underestimate Bron. He says, Bron, if you debuted in 2002 and were running against John Cena to be the face of WWE, I would pick you. Same in 2015 if it was you running against the big dog, whoever it was at that time. Name escapes me. I can't recall who was the big dog around 2015.
Okay.
But in 2026, you're running against me. And he says, you only exist because, he says, I exist because the chances of you being the face have drastically decreased with me here. I outclass you on every level.
He specifically said drastically gone down.
Oh, drastically gone down. Thank you.
Of course, referencing the Steiner Math promo.
Yes. A good call there. He's going to take Bron Bron says he's going to take him into deep waters and exhaust him, and says, I will own you, and you will be known as the guy that couldn't beat me. Bron asks, Oba, are you going to sign this, or is your daddy? It's like his daddy. He's referring to Paul Heyman, who he hands the contract to, and Heyman's like, this is uncalled for. And he's getting right into Paul's face to do it. And then finally, he attacks Oba, and they get into a brawl. Austin Theory gets involved. It's a 2-on-1 attack, but Oba sends Bron out of the ring, puts Theory through the table, and Oba, in the this heated interaction, says, this is what will happen on the 5th. And close. It'll be the 6th, but nonetheless, he signs the contract. I hope he knows what day. I hope he doesn't show up in Atlanta a day early and he's all ready to go. You want to peak for the right day. He thinks it's Saturday night's main event. I don't blame him.
Yeah, maybe he's just on a different time zone. He's on Canadian time, okay? Which
that's not how Canadian time works. But
you throw the show 2 hours earlier, it just completely messes with their internal clock, I bet. I thought it was an overall decent talking segment, that gave you a sort of like gauge as to where Bron Breakker is currently as a performer on the microphone. And I thought he sounded fine. I wouldn't necessarily say like great, but the appeal of Bron Breakker isn't necessarily his talking. It's his physicality, right? And it's his speed. His talking only has to be good enough, and this was certainly good enough. I think he's doing okay overall. Femi, though, I think continues to actually impress both in physicality and also with his poise on the microphone. He's got a really great cocky confidence in this particular segment where he could deliver those one-liners really well. He could throw references to Roman Reigns really well. He can do a Steiner Math line, I think, really well. So he came across again, very confident, very cool, and also still very physically imposing in this segment. They're also doing a lot of Heyman foreshadowing, it feels kind of very obvious that Heyman will turn on Femi. I don't think anybody buys for a second that Heyman favors Femi in any sort of way. And for that reason, if there's a Heyman turn coming, I can certainly see Bron winning this first match.
I kind of see Bron winning this one to begin with. I think they've almost established it that Bron losing almost puts him in as the number 2 guy here. That I see this one probably extending itself just for lack of options with Oba, and Heyman is an easy way to go about that and continue this.
Agreed.
We are wrapping up the summer big on the Post Wrestling Cafe as John Pollock and Neil Flanagan are flying to London, England for live on-the-ground coverage of AEW All in London. Also this month, we conclude our reviews of Dark Side of the Ring and WWE Unreal Season 3, reviews of ROH's Death Before Dishonor and TNA Lockdown. Rewind Away will cover the WWF Aggression album, and Book Club will cover Total Nonstop Agony by Vince Russo. Sign up now at postwrestlingcafe.com.